Oh, imagine a land, it's a faraway place, where caravan camels roam, where you wander among every culture and tongue. It's chaotic, but hey, it's home. When the winds from the east and the suns from the west, and the sand and the glass is right, come on down, stop on by, hop a carpet and fly for another board strategy guide.
Hello and welcome to Lord of the Board. My name is Sam Smith, and today we are going to be going through a strategy guide for Jafar in the Disney Villainous board game. Jafar is a really fun character to play, but oftentimes he is perceived as a very difficult character to play. Jafar has a couple of goals throughout the game. He's going to have the lamp at his palace at the start of his turn, as well as have the genie under his control. But to do this, there's a couple of things at place. First of all, at the beginning of the game, the Cave of Wonders is actually locked, and in order to play the lamp, that location has to be unlocked. So that brings you to the Scarab Pendant, which is going to be the first card that you technically have to find in order to unlock the Cave of Wonders. Then you can play the lamp, then you've got to get the lamp to the palace, and then you have to make sure that the genie is under your control and hypnotized. This is not super easy. In fact, it's very difficult. And so since he is so difficult, we are going to be going over his cards as well as the 4 locations in his realm. And then lastly, I'm going to go over 3 tips and strategies on how to play Jafar better for your next game. And so with that, let's go ahead and start the video. So at the beginning of the game, as Jafar, you're going to want to just dig through your deck and try to find the Scarab Pendant. So you're going to want to use Scrying as a card. Whenever you draw it, you're going to want to play it and always choose items. You're going to want to go through your deck and draw until you get an item, and then you're going to be able to keep that item in your hand and discard the rest. This is going to clear the clutter from your deck, as well as it will get you through the deck quicker, which will get you to the Scarab Pendant. Now, Iago is a trusted friend of Jafar, and so you're going to want to protect him when you play him. When you do play him, go ahead and play him on the Cave of Wonders in preparation for the lamp to be played there, so that you can start moving the lamp towards the palace as soon as it shows up. Now, in order to get the genie on your side, you actually have to hypnotize him. And hypnotizing works where you have to spend power equal to the strength of those heroes, and then you're able to put them on your side of the field and treat them as allies. So whenever you draw a hypnotized card, it's something to consider maybe keeping out of all the other cards that you have in your deck. Now, if it is in the beginning of the game, I might recommend going ahead and just discarding it, as the Scarab Pendant might be at the bottom and you have to get to that first, and you have to get to it as soon as you can. If you put Razul on the board, you can actually play Palace Guards for free at his location. It can be a really good way to clear up space without having to necessarily play cards that cost money, but as well as you're going to be still cycling through your deck. So when you're not at a space that has a discard spot, you can still get rid of some cards. Jafar's Snake Staff is actually a really good card, so when you draw it, go ahead and play it, because this is going to help protect you and make sure that you have a hypnotized card when you need it. And so you shouldn't fear of discarding it, because if you have the Snake Staff, you're able to grab it back with an activated ability. And now that we have looked at Jafar's cards, let's go ahead and take a look at the sandy deserts of Jafar's realm. And so the first place we have in Jafar's realm is the Sultans Palace, which is where he conspires against Aladdin, as well as he conspires against the Sultan himself. And so at this location, he has a couple of options. The first one being a fate ability, the second one being the only spot where he can vanquish heroes, as well as an activated ability and a draw card ability. This is not going to be used very much because, as you'll find out, he actually has a lot of tools to get rid of heroes without the use of allies, so a vanquish action isn't that helpful. As well as fading your opponents is not going to be benefiting you as much, because you should be very focused on your own goal as Jafar. And now we head to the second location in his realm, which is the streets of Agrabah. Now, this is a great location because it has, one, a discard space ability, but it also has a gain power, play a card, and a fate action. Focus on discarding cards and getting to the Scarab Pendant. That is going to be very important. And the third location is the Oasis. Or is it? Because I believe in the movie it was actually a mirage. I actually don't remember if it was actually real, but we've got the Oasis, and the Oasis is going to be a great location because you can gain 3 power, activate an activated ability, as well as play 2 cards. The Oasis is going to be a pretty good location for earlier in the game until you get that Cave of Wonders opened up. Once you get the Cave of Wonders opened up, go ahead and scrap the Oasis and start cycling between the streets of Agrabah and the Cave of Wonders. And that leads us to our last spot, which is, you guessed it, the Cave of Wonders. And honestly, I would not want to hang around here very much just due to the fact that it's a giant lion with its mouth open. I would not want anything to do with it, but the game really does want you to be at this location because it is great for Jafar. He can move an item or ally 1 space. This is going to be primarily used to get the magic lamp from one side of your realm to the other. At any point in the game that this is unlocked, move between the streets of Agrabah and the Cave of Wonders, and that will help you get to the rest of the cards that you need very quickly as Jafar. And now that we have looked at his realm, let's go ahead and take a look at the 3 tips and strategies that I have for you as Jafar. The first tip is going to be kind of an obvious one, and that is be relentless when you are trying to find the Scarab and the lamp. Get rid of every single card that is not either of those things on your way. If you're not playing cards that help you dig through your deck, then anything that doesn't help with that, get rid of it and focus on getting that Scarab as soon as possible. And my second tip is going to be about the heroes in his Fate deck. Now the 3 biggest threats are going to be Aladdin, Abu, and the Carpet, because these are going to hinder you from, 1, either getting the magic lamp and having it on your side of the board. Aladdin and Abu take it from you and hold it on their side, as well as with the Carpet, you actually have to defeat the Carpet before you can defeat any other of your fates. And so if the genie is on the field, you have to defeat the Carpet first, which is going to slow down your whole process. So with all the other fates, don't worry about them, but with Aladdin, Abu, and the Carpet, you're going to want to get rid of these as fast as possible. And my last tip and strategy is actually going to cover a card that we have not talked about just yet, which is going to be Necessary Sacrifice. If you have Razul on the board and you are able to play those palace guards at his location, then you can use Necessary Sacrifice to get rid of those cards that you played for free while playing a free card to gain 3 power. And this right here, folks, is going to be one of the best ways that you can gain some power either later in the game or earlier in the game. But also, if you want to make it even more crazy, combo this with the fact that you can play scimitars for free. You put those on the palace guards, and then you can use the Necessary Sacrifice and get rid of those as well, because it could be an item or an ally. Either way, this is going to be a great way to gain some power, and this is going to be an awesome way to be able to defeat Genie sooner. Thank you so much for watching my video. This has been an absolute blast to make, and I hope that the next game that you play as Jafar goes better than maybe your previous games. If you liked this content, go ahead and like, as well as comment down below what your favorite character in the Disney Aladdin movie is, as well as if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and click the bell notification to be notified when my next video releases. But with that, let's go ahead and drop the beat.